The third unit of this course examines the economic collapse of the Great Depression, World War II, and the origins of the Cold War. You will research major elements of the New Deal and learn how the various programs work together to provide relief and promote reform during the Great Depression. Through critical analysis of primary sources, you will also learn about the impact the Dust Bowl had on individual people. Using the knowledge you gained about World War I home front, you will create your own propaganda reflecting U.S. involvement in World War II and reflect on the differences between the two conflicts. You will also examine recorded oral histories to learn the impact of the attack on Pearl Harbor and the war on Japanese Americans, including increased incidences of racism and internment. Finally, you will learn the origins of the Cold War and U.S. policy as the nation emerged as the main opposition to the spread of communism, as well as the fears the Cold War generated at home. The Great Depression of the 1930s was part of a global economic downturn caused, in part, by post-World War I economic problems in Europe and overproduction in the United States. Franklin Roosevelt's program to combat the effects of depression, the New Deal, focused on providing relief, recovery, and reform. New Deal programs provided jobs, protected unions, reformed the banking system, and instituted programs with lasting impact. The New Deal was not universally favored and faced both conservative and liberal criticism. World War II finished pulling the U.S. out of the Great Depression. Originating in both Europe and Asia, the U.S. economically supported the Allies before declaring the war following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941. As with World War I, U.S. entrance into World War II required rapid mobilization and extended federal oversight of the domestic economy to coordinate wartime production. African Americans, Native Americans, and women played important roles in the war effort. On the West Coast, Japanese immigrants and their children, who were American citizens, faced fear and reprisals following the attack on Pearl Harbor, culminating in Executive Order 9066, establishing internment camps for the forced relocation of more than 100,000 Japanese Americans. The United States emerged from the war as the leading economic power of the Western world. Following the end of World War II, a struggle between two political ideologies erupted. The USSR expanded its sphere of influence and communism in Eastern Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The U.S. cast itself in the role of global police, protecting the world for democracy and capitalism by containing the spread of communism. The Cold War, while occasionally erupting into armed conflict, was largely fought through economic pressure, nuclear intimidation, propaganda, and subversion. A second Red Scare led to increasing pressure for political and ideological conformity, enforced through laws like the McCarran Act.